Hi, my name is Mark Richey, YieldPro Specialist with Harvest Land Co-op.
Morning, Mark.
Morning, Glenn.
Hey, I'm Glenn Longabaugh, Regional Agronomist with Winfield United.
Glenn, today we're out here at the beautiful answer plot and was wondering if there's still some things we could see. There's still quite a bit of season left. Is there still some things we can catch out here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you get into August, a lot of times, a lot of the demos are pretty long in the tooth, and sometimes it's perceived as though there's really nothing to see agronomic, but there are several demos here that still look pretty neat. So, for example, this summer we had a lot of epinasty, right? We had a lot of soybeans that got dinked, whether that was from planned applications or whether that was from drift or volatility, and you can see that symptomology. So we have an area over here that has all the different trait platforms, right? Non-GMO, Roundup Ready, Liberty Link, Enlist, Extend, and GT27. And then crossways, perpendicular to that, we've actually made applications of all the different commonly used herbicides. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, right, this is probably the most common offense. This is dicamba injury. We call this symptomology cupping. As you can see, it cups up. And so this is really common, and if we've used, whether it's any of the dicamba formulations or the corn formulations, right, which would include Diflex and Status and Clarity, this is the symptomology we would likely see. It often gets confused with Group 15 symptomology. And Group 15 symptomology is where we intentionally spray a soybean field with things like Outlook, Warrant, Zidua, Dual, or even the premixes of those chemistries. And what it gives you is this really neat heart-shaped symptomology. Now initially, Mark, it'll be kind of puckered, but eventually it will turn into these kind of heart shape. And we call this drawstringing, right? It looks like you pulled it in. Now, what is new, the thing that we haven't seen that is new for us this year, is we have the Enlist technology, and Enlist is a 2,4-D formulation, and this is an example of what we call strapping. So this is 2,4-D sensitivity. Right? So this is the symptomology of 2,4-D, and it's often confused with dicamba. But probably the neatest thing you can see out here, Mark, is just the difference in sensitivity, right? I'm not going to debate whether it's volatile, whether it's physical drift. I don't know if the 2,4-D formulations will get out of bounds as far, right? But what I can tell you is there is a huge difference in the sensitivity, at least in soybeans, right? So where we sprayed 2,4-D, even a sublethal dose of like 30% barely affected the Extend platform. Right. And yet where we sprayed dicamba, we offended the non-Extend platforms for some distance. So, that's something for growers to consider. I'm not going to say that 2,4-D is going to be a managementless system, right? It's not, but there is a huge difference in sensitivity, and you can come see that for yourself. Grab up your YieldPro Specialist, head to the answer plot, and take a road trip. Yeah, sounds great. All right, is there anything on the corn side that we need to see? Oh, absolutely. So, we often do fungicide studies in this plot. Here's an example for those growers that have used fungicide this last year. This is actually a new fungicide that will be released next year called Protegum from Winfield. Okay. And really effective mode of action. You can see the stalk is relatively clean. You can see the leaves are really clean. Here is an example of an untreated. In fact, you can even see it behind me. On the stalk, you see these little black dots, right? So if you turn, you can see on the leaf collar that there's a lot of little black dots. Those little black dots are the symptomology of a disease called physoderma, right? And physoderma doesn't normally cause a lot of yield loss, but what it will do is it can affect standability, right? Yep. So, I would suggest that growers get out and scout their fields. If they used a fungicide, fungicides look like they're going to pay another premium again this year. All right. Thanks, Glenn. Thank you, Mark. With this, there's a bunch of things we can see out here at the answer plot. Make sure you get a hold of your YieldPro Specialist and make them drag you out here and take a look at what we got to see. Thanks.